training exercise on a scale not seen by soldiers in Petawawa since 2003. And that means a lot of preparation to get it going.
A lot of logistics, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are actually working really hard to make this plan come true.
More than 500 pieces of equipment were packed onto trains and more than 3,000 soldiers onto planes.
Very difficult for the soldiers to train here in Petawawa this time of year, obviously, with the cooler weather and the amount of snow that we have.
So they traveled more than 3,000 kilometers south to Fort Bliss, leaving the cold and snow for warmth, sun, and sand.
This is an excellent training area, and certainly beats the conditions back in Petawawa right now.
Petawawa, when I left, it was -30, and here we are. I'm not sure what it is today, but nice and warm and toasty, just like it's going to be in Afghanistan.
Fort Bliss is a massive American base that covers parts of Texas and New Mexico. With more than 4,500 square kilometers of land, it's larger than the state of Rhode Island. But it's not the size of the base that attracted the Canadian military.
It's like you're flying into Kandahar. The mountains, the topography, the desert, the climate, everything is almost the exact same.
Okay! Okay!
And with these soldiers set to deploy to Afghanistan in August, it's important they get a better idea of what they'll be facing.
By making the training as realistic as possible, we ensure that our soldiers can put their best foot forward and have the best chance of succeeding in a very tough environment.
Hey, watch civilians to your left!
Adding to the realism are local actors hired to act as enemy forces and civilians.
The idea there is, of course, it's human nature to be competitive, so we want them to push our soldiers as hard as possible.
Soldiers are also learning about the challenges that are presented working in a dry, dusty desert climate.
With a lot of the vehicles, they kick up a lot of dust, so you really get your sight brought down and you find dust everywhere.
You got to get used to it just for simple things like maintaining your personal weapon. It's totally different between working in a desert as it is working back home.
And it gives them an opportunity to work with their American counterparts.
The Americans, first of all, have been great. They've bent over backwards to give us their facilities, and they're also helping us out with some of their expertise.
All right, sir, get to the back. We're going to throw the stretcher right here.
While all of this happens, the very mission they're training for is up for debate in the House of Commons. And while some wonder what the outcome will be, it doesn't change the work they're doing at Fort Bliss.
It doesn't matter what kind of mission it is, we'll always train for the worst, because that's our job, is to be prepared for the worst.
Regardless of what the political situation is, that's what armies do. They train and prepare for the next conflict. In this case, we're very much focused on the Afghan conflict because we have a mandate that runs until February 2009.
Next week, we'll take a look at the training they're doing here that could save lives overseas. In Fort Bliss, Jennifer Madigan, 8 Channel News.